Sri Lanka already taking the field here, and it's going to be Brodie Dwyer and Nathan Tyrrell to open the batting for the Australians. I'm joined in the box here by England marquee player and ex-Test cricketer Nick Compton.
Yes, good afternoon. I'm sad to say I'm sitting here with you. Not that I don't like you, of course,
it's all right.
but
Many people have said that.
It's disappointing when, I think we should have been in that final, England, but we're not. We lost, and Australia, who've held it together over the last 2 or 3 days, definitely not one of the teams I would have outlined to have made this final, but they've got good team spirit. They've each sort of played to their strengths and supported one another, and in good Australian fashion, really.
I'll be honest with you, I think everyone thought that England had that in the bag there, but some really good bowling from Australia, and I think some
indifferent batting.
I think that's a nice way of putting it. Thanks, pal.
Putting it mildly.
I just thought that there was an opportunity there for England to really strike in the second half of that innings there and put the game to bed well before the end, and they put themselves under immense pressure. And it doesn't matter what level of cricket you're playing at, if you're put under pressure, then there's a good chance that things may turn.
Absolutely. I think the fact that I was not out just gave us a bit of a license to go hard, and particularly when you're downwind, got to be smart, take the percentages. But you live and learn. I think it's been a thoroughly good week. Lots of good players, lots of good people, lots of beers, lots of good cricket.
Just before this starts, obviously you've played at the pinnacle of the sport. Imagine picking your best, whether it be Middlesex or England 8 players, to play against the best Australian 8 players. Who'd come out on top of the bowlers or the batters?
Jesus. I'd have to go for the batters. Oh.
So Brodie Dwyer opening the batting here, and it's Dexter Solomons with the ball.
Oh, he's had a stinker there down at fine leg. Not the way you want to start this final. At least he's not injured. Just very wet and soggy, so you've got to have good footing down here. Otherwise, you're going to trip over and slip and get a wet arse like I did.
You must have been happy with that catch before.
Yeah, it was nice. It sort of sailed a bit further than I thought it would. Just obviously the wind coming down this way, so I kind of trying to make sure. You kind of had to. Yeah, I think I probably made a meal of it in the end. Went over my head slightly. He was quite a dangerous guy, I think. Big muscles.
Yeah, he is, yeah. One of those players you'd like. Oh, my Lord.
That is terrible. I don't know what you want me to comment on that. But as so far as the game has started and the fielding, 1-0 Australia.
Well, the Sri Lankans have obviously played some brilliant cricket this week. They're undefeated. Sailed through the group. Didn't have to play a quarter-final. So
lovely shot there, I have to say. Dwyer, who bit of a thorn in our backside in the semi-final, has played a beautiful little shot on the slow wicket there. Used the pace of the ball and just nudged it past the keeper for 4. That, for me, was a classy little shot. Looks quite a well-organised player. Quite like the fact that he takes the responsibility on his own shoulders to get the runs.
And also as well the fact that he, as he pushes into cover, he'll look for 2 here. Will Tyrrell come back? He's going to try, and he does. This is a great first over for Australia.
Brilliant first over.
And it's still not over either. So big pressure here from the Australians. Dwyer came back. He was actually dropped from the quarter-final, left out. And he bounced back brilliantly. As you said, took responsibility on, and as he hit it out to the deep, much better fielding from the Sri Lankans there, but that's 15 off the first over for Australia, and the favourite Sri Lanka are just starting to wobble a little bit after 1 over.
Yeah, fantastic start from Australia, just what they wanted. Sri Lanka, who have, in my mind, been arguably one of the best teams in this competition. There's no doubt about it. I really thought that I was looking forward to playing them, I have to be honest, because they have been the form team. I still think they're the form team. But this Australian team, you know what they're like? Aussies, they've always got always come together, good teamsmanship, back each other, confident, and nothing less than you would expect from Australia. Big hard-hitting Tyrrell. He's got a bit of weight behind the ball, which is what you need. If he gets hold of it, they do stay hit.
So this is Irashanda Silva. He's going to be bowling some off-spin here. We're in the power play. Would you expect Sri Lanka to be going 3-3 or 4-2 here?
It's a good point. I think because it's a spinner and a left-hander, I think you've got to be careful that the slog sweep does come into play. Even though it's into the wind, it'd still be a good option. But I like the fact they've started with a spinner here. A long way forward, bit of turn. Hard to give that one out.
Marcus North on WhatsApp here. What a result for our Aussie boys. So obviously he's been watching on Facebook Live.
Yes, Marcus.
I'm sure he'd love to be here at Chester.
He'd be gloating.
Be even colder up north where he is.
Nice shot there, nice shot. Tends to give himself room, Tyrrell. I feel like if you're bowling at him, you've got to try and bowl quite straight. I think if you give him too much room, especially with the wind going that way, I think you're sort of playing into his arc a little bit. So as a bowler, I think against him particularly, you want to bowl nice and straight.
As an off-spinner, could you even consider coming over the wicket and bowling onto his heel?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, I would be doing that because it's getting them to hit out to the big part of the boundary here with a huge wind. So odds are stacked against you. If he gives them a bit of room here, the ball can slide on. So the bowler's got to get his lines right here.
Silva comes in.
Which that wasn't the right line.
That's actually perfect for Tyrrell there, isn't it? He's just sliding it into his arc there, and he wants to be leg side the ball and he wants to hit it through cover. So
yeah, poor bit of bowling. I mean, if you look at the field, it all sort of lends itself towards that direction. You don't have to hit it half that well and it'll go for 4 along the outfield there. So yes, I think definitely got to be quite clever. Got to get your tactics right here. Get the guys hitting into the wind on the long part of the boundary. Easier said than done, but the smart play here will definitely win this game. The smart cricket. And Australia, I think they've got that.
I've just got a little feeling also for Australia. I think Sri Lanka have been the standout team. But they've just come together on this final day as we look across and see a lot of the Kiwi team there.
We know what T20 is like. Should I say last man stands? It's it's on the day, isn't it? You can be the form team all the way up to the final, but if you don't pull it out the bag, you can lose a one-off game very easily.
I think that's pitched outside leg there.
Yeah, just doing it more to keep the batsman in his crease.
Change of bowling here. This is one of my favourite names of the tournament. This is Sri Lanka Kuthararana Singha, I think.
It's well bowled. That's well bowled. There's an easy 2 there if they want it. They don't want it.
You can have a go at that one, Nick. That's all yours. I'll try my best.
Karuna Ratna. Just bowling back of a length here. Bit of width there. Disappointed he didn't get any bat on that. Just get a little bit of a nick on that. The ball absolutely flies across this outfield. So Tyrrell will be disappointed he missed out.
So we've seen some of the Indian players supporting Pakistan earlier in the week. We're hearing the Kiwis on the far side supporting Australia. The world's gone mad.
The world has gone absolutely bonkers.
Said it to you earlier in the week, Nick. Maybe it's time to bring Iran to LMS. Sort some of these problems out. That's
a wide ball. Good umpiring there. Got to be harsh on these calls. Make sure you're fair. I think the umpiring's been pretty good. Not easy for these guys. Quick game, fast game. There you go. The big thick edge. Tyrrell gets his just rewards. Can't give him too much room. Got to bowl straight here.
Just sensing that Australia may have just managed to warm the hearts of some of the Chester locals here. They seem to have far more of the support in the pavilion here and around the ground.
Yeah, another good over for Australia here. Really flying. I think Sri Lanka have just been a little bit slow to get going here. See, now they're bringing another man over, which potentially is a good idea, but actually where I think they're going wrong is they should be coming over the wicket and bowling middle and leg and asking them to play against the line out to the deep end. And I think they would really struggle. You give them some room, even though they've got 4 over here, you're just playing into their hands. They've got to run hard now.
I can understand why Sri Lanka have started from the Ron Fleet end here. They've obviously looked at 2 left-handers. They've got both of them hitting to a big leg side boundary. The one thing we probably haven't noticed is that Dwyer and Tyrrell are predominantly offside players.
Get them hitting to the long boundary. Then I think that would be good tactics. Everything has been outside the off-stump here.
And this is a really comfy start for Australia. Australia have battled through in both games and managed to pull together some sort of total around that 140, 150 mark, but this is a completely different start for them at the moment.
Well, it's clever cricket. Just got to get a score on the board. You don't want to... It's clever, because it's so easy to come out there and try and whack it and bang it, and you end up being bowled up for 100 and the game's over.
Great to see Irishan De Silva's teammates from the Barrow Cricket Club have come down to watch him here, so it really has caught the imagination in the Chester area. So just going back to the thought of maybe, I know at the ECB at the moment are trying to get this 100-ball game they're tweaking about. Do you reckon you could ever get some professionals having a crack at last man stands?
Absolutely. I don't know why they're wasting their time. They should be playing this format. 8 aside. Everyone gets involved. Tosses this one up. Nicely driven out to mid-off. Quite attractive looking player, Dwyer. Quite well organised. I like the way he goes about his business. Tyrrell a little bit more agricultural. Just waiting to see when he's going to give it a bit of a boomer.
The problem with that massive first over is it just gives Australia the opportunity just to tick a little bit here, roll the ball around. I would like to see one of them, though, take the initiative. So you've spent the week up in Chester, Nick. Have you enjoyed your time up here?
Actually really like Chester. Lovely place, nice people. You know, it's nice to have that sort of familiarity. You know where you're going. It's not too big. Don't get lost, and everyone kind of comes together. It's been, I think, Chester High Street its GDP has definitely gone up over the last week.
I spoke to Nigel Collins of New Zealand, and New Zealand obviously shot out as we see the World Championship Tournament there. Trophy, very impressive.
Oh, that's good bit of bowling there. Good bit of bowling. Where is Nigel Collins? I haven't seen him for a while.
He's over there on that far bench with the Kiwis over there, but he explained that they maybe frequented Chester just one more night.
That's a wide. Still think he should come around the wicket. Yeah, cramp him up. Get the big fella hitting out to the long boundary into the wind.
That's
a much better line. Not as strong off his legs. I think if they had done that, the score could be very, very different. But they're going to have to try and claw it back here. They definitely got a few spinners, I think, when they change ends. But I think they've done really well in this first 10. Into the wind, Australia. There you go. At the legs again.
Got a chance to run out the other end there. Good running from Brodie Dwyer.
Slight change in line already. Just 1 dot ball and just a quick scamp at single. Where's Marcus?
Over the wicket. And there it is, just worked into the leg side.
Easy 2 there if they'd run hard. Got to run hard every ball. You cannot sit on your bat and just think it's one. You got to push, even when you whack it out to the guy straight to him. The amount of misfields and hit someone's knee and conks off a metre or 2. Love the Aussie song on the boundary there from the Kiwis. Having a right old laugh.
It's great to see so many of the teams that maybe have gone out the tournament coming and enjoying this final, having a final few beers. And Tyrrell's just rocked back there. He will not stand for that line any longer. And that's been dispatched backward a square here. And that's another over ticked off. And that's 42 off 5. So obviously we had that really good first over, but the other two bowlers, Nick, have just gone at 6.5 and over here. So surely Australia now have got a bit of a licence at least one end to kick on.
I agree, but I don't think they're going to think like that. I think they'll just keep ticking over the way they're going.
So just a picture of Marcus North there. I'm sure he's watching at home. Modelling the LMS Bass co-branded range. And there's the website to check it out at home, if you fancy a crack at that. Also, if you like the look of what you've seen and you haven't got an LMS team, or you think even loftier thoughts than that, you want to start your own league, check out the Last Man Stands website.
It's nudged into the offside. I think they're going to stay for one there. Good bit of fielding. Coming right off the boundary there. It's good batting from Australia. There is a chance to potentially, I always think in this form, you've got to have one batter looking to be the aggressor. Just got to make sure you keep pushing. Never think you've got enough.
Good bowling again, just out to cover. Yeah, the Australia have batted first in both games so far. This morning on the front pitch here at Chester. I found that in all 4 innings we've seen, the middle overs have been a little bit sluggish, and then teams have tried to catch up on the back end. Dwyer trying to change the mould of that there and going for quite a lofty swing into the leg side there. Lost his shape probably for the first time in the day.
Yeah, I think you're better off either sweeping here or running down the wicket and trying to hit along the ground through extra cover. It's 2 or 4 if you beat the guy.
This is brilliant bowling, this. Interesting to see the keeper stood back to the off spinner here. Don't see this very often. Is that maybe to stop the batsman thinking of dabbing and sweeping, or?
I'm not really sure.
Maybe he's a part-time keeper.
Potentially. I'll go for the latter.
He's also got no pads on, so he's...
Oh, it's a really good bowling.
Another.
I think Dwyer's just sort of done himself a little bit there. Too many thoughts in the head. Keep it simple.
So out of nowhere here, Sri Lanka are pulling this right back. Ushanda Silva 3 was none for 15 here. And in the last 10 balls, just the one boundary. As we look across, there's Bakari, fastest mouth in the east. Pakistan went out this morning to Singapore. See a few of the England boys there licking their wounds. Must be close to mend this time here, surely. They don't want to let Australia continue without losing a wicket for too long.
Yeah, game nicely poised here. Just got to make sure these Aussies try and put their foot down a little bit. They got a really good start here, but ones and twos are nice. I just think you got to keep looking for that 4, keep looking for that boundary.
This is Marasinga now. Again around the wicket. This is something that the Sri Lankan team have employed a lot more here than some of the other sides around the wicket.
Yeah, I prefer this, particularly to this guy Tyrrell. Just make sure you sort of drift into his pads. I don't think he's a big hitter on the leg side.
Took the pace off this time.
Clever
Slapped.
bowling. Clever bowling. So
Slapped
very wily, aren't they?
They seem to know the roles, this Sri Lankan side. Be interesting to see who Australia sending 3 here.
Good single there.
Because they're both striking around 120 here. I think the number 3 may have to be someone who's going to look to get on with it here. They've had a couple of little middle order collapses in the 2 games this morning, so let's see what the brains trust of Australia come up with. Took the pace off again. Dwyer's just going through 2 or 3 plans every ball here, you can see it. Tyrrell's trying to explain to him here just to go back to what he was doing there, manoeuvre the ball around, minimise the dot balls. That's 6 dot balls in the last 7 now. Half-hearted appeal from the bowler. Keeper wasn't interested. Little leg by into the leg side. Marasinga there, 1 off 1 over. That is quite unbelievable bowling. And all of a sudden, after us talking about this quick start, Australia have dropped below 7 and over here.
Yeah, just falling back here a little bit. Almost got a good start, but they're in two minds in a way. I think sometimes you just got to pick your area and go, right, this guy's bowling off spin, he's bowling on the off stump. My area is extra cover, I'm going to run down and try and hit it there.
Steve Emmett, team manager there, just running out with the gloves and the water bottle. I've been super impressed with him during this tournament. He's got real high energy. He's on top of all his players there. He's always out there with drinks or gloves or little bits of advice. Been great around the rooms as well. It makes a massive difference. You know, you played in some brilliant sides, Nick. You know, having those guys in the change room can make a real difference sometimes.
Absolutely.
Punched out for 1.
Yeah, I just think they need to have some options here. I think one is get outside the off stump and have a nice sweep. There's only one man to beat, so if you get it, fine. The off spinner's bowling that sort of off stump just outside line, given the field. So you want to try and get over and have a sweep or come down the wicket. The keeper's not standing up, so you've got a license to run down. It doesn't matter if you miss it. That's a much better option. You know, you get that sort of 2 yards to the left of that fielder. It carries on with the field down here and goes into that extra cover boundary. So I really think they've missed an opportunity to really hammer that area. You know, either a hard sweep or you get down the wicket.
Just went for the little feint there, didn't he? Tried to put the bowler off, but went back into his shape, punched to long off.
Yeah, 48 after 7. I think with this Sri Lankan side, they are a good team, so Australia need to keep going here.
They're also ruthless at the top of the order. Solomons, Mendes, Dewan.
That's a good shot. They should get 2 there.
They've all teed off. They're not even interested in 2. They've just sauntered for a single.
The way I see it is that Dwyer, who batted nicely through the innings against England, is their kind of more solid player. But if that happens, Tyrrell has got to have a free license here. He's got his man Dwyer, who's going to bat through the innings here. So he's just going to do that. He might miss 1 or 2, but as long as the other guy's going hard, it's okay.
Well, the problem is now the projected score. If they keep on like this, 128, that just is nowhere near enough against this dangerous, unbeaten Sri Lankan side. The danger here is obviously we've got the 2 left-handers in it at the moment. We're 2 overs from the turnaround, and then I've noticed that the Sri Lankans have really held some of their best bowlers back for the last 10 overs at the moment, so a right-hander could come in and have a real handful here.
Yeah, I think when they started this end, Australia could have been clever and had a right-hander in. Short boundary over there, off spinners are bowling. Would have had to have changed up their plans, but they're just putting the team under pressure now. Someone's got to go here.
You've got to look for.
That's what happens. That's what happens when you start running these singles and you're not really looking for 2. You get a sort of short ball that maybe you would have put away. Just managed to plink it out there, even though the pitch is quite slow and it isn't easy to time.
If you're on Facebook Live, why not tell us your thoughts?
Yeah, get us some questions, guys. Come on, let's liven this game up a little bit. Let's get all you peeps out there who've been watching and supporting. Send some questions here.
Quite a few people saying 170 is a minimum here for the Aussie team. They're going to have to go some here.
Yeah, I think they should have tried to get 170, 165, I think, in the least. You get 165 on the board, you really are
in the driving seat, particularly when you consider it's a final. Bit of extra pressure, get a couple of early wickets. Hard to force it on here.
So we asked this question before. If you're supporting Australia out there, want to see the big thumbs up on Facebook Live. If you're following Sri Lanka, we can go with the love heart, show them some love here. Let's see who's watching at home. Let's see how many supporters we've got for both sides here. But at the moment, Australia haven't lost a wicket, but they're only at 54 off 9 overs. So I think this could be a real key moment in the game, this now. As Sri Lanka just seem to turn the screw here.
Why am I so far back? Didn't I get the most runs in the tournament? Who got the most runs?
It's well bowled there. Just back of a length there.
Just looking at the LMS batting rankings for this tournament here. So Nigel Collins from New Zealand obviously had that massive 90 as we've got our first wicket. As a couple of competition organisers are just explaining to Nick Compton why he's not top of the batting averages here.
Yeah, a bit disappointed there. Pretty much got 50 every time I batted.
Well, actually, if we go back to the game where he decided to reverse pedal on 49, that's probably cost you that top spot.
Probably cost me, yeah. Disappointing. Small margins.
Through course into the wind.
Who was the leading run scorer, though, just as a matter of interest?
But I think this may just change the game, this dismissal here.
Well, it might be a good thing. It might be a good thing
Srivastava
because
here coming in. Great to see his wife and child come along. They've all got matching tops on. They've gone on the online shop here. Lovely touch.
Very sweet. Very nice guy as well. Very nice chap.
He is a nice fella.
Yeah, I think if we just made the final and I'd managed to get another 50 not out, I might have just crept up there. What do you reckon, boys? What would have needed to have done? I came here for one reason and one reason only.
Well, to finish top of finish top of the batting.
No. I actually really got into this tournament. I thought we had a real chance. I actually got very competitive and wanted to win this thing, which is always good because you want to play hard on the field. It was nice to play the game hard. Really enjoyed that side of it. Yeah, I think Sri Lanka doing what they've done all tournament, really in control here. I can't see them losing this game from here. I really mean it. I know it's early days.
Big call early on.
Yeah, I just think that they know what they're doing.
That's a lovely shot though, hasn't he? He's absolutely laid into that Tyrrell, and there's 4.
It's 4, much needed boundary, that is for sure, but unless something magical happens in the last 10, when you consider the fact that Sri Lanka are very wily, they've got slower bowlers now, they've got their one-day or T20 trump card, Ajantha Mendes, excellent cricketer. So he's no foreigner to these conditions and these situations. I'm going to pass you on to Mr. Wayne Grieve. Thanks, Ben.
Did put the laughing emoji, so that means it wasn't serious.
No, that's all right. It's all good. It's all good-natured. Yeah, come on. I'd just love to see Australia get a competitive total here. We need a really good final. I think 150. I think they can get it. Downwind now, so there's a chance to really pin the ears back and capitalise on these guys.
So this is Rathaneka now. He's been their main seamer. As I ask LMS founder Wayne Grieve into the box. All right, Grievo.
Good afternoon, Lee. Yeah, Sri Lanka playing smart cricket here. They know Australia are going to be hitting with the wind in the second 10, and they've got the quickest bowler into attack now.
Comes in from the city end. Back of a length.
It's a great shot there.
There we go. All of a sudden, Australia have pressed the button, and we've had 2 boundaries in a row.
Yeah, Australia need to find something now. They've got the luxury of knowing it's going to be hard to get bowled out from here. They're just going to play with freedom. It's gone leg side.
Srinivasan, like you said, has got a licence here. Not many 2s so far though, Wayno.
Yeah, the intensity levels, they started well. First over they had 15. And then the next 9 overs, I think they only scored about 40 runs. So that's going to hurt Australia there. But they've got wickets in hand and they're hitting with the wind now. They need 100 from these next 10.
Be interesting to see if the cameraman can just see the Aussie bench when we get a moment. See who's padded up, who they're planning to go in. That's got to be a wide, surely. And there it is.
Seems to be a clear tactics from the Sri Lankans to Terrell. The wide Yorker has been
Thanks for that.
used a lot.
So we've got Ziad Abbas with his pads on there. It's looking like they're going to go with the big man next. What a shot that is! He's just kicked it to the fielder there. That was 4 all the way. Must have toes of concrete there. That was absolutely rinsed back at him from Tyrrell.
There was an argument for Abbas to open the batting today. Short boundary on the leg side, and Sri Lanka start with a lot of off spinners.
If you follow LMS Australia on Twitter, you've probably seen an interview, or is it Facebook, Rob? It was on Facebook with Ziabas, and he was begging for more overs. He's been bowling 2 overs a game at the death, doing a great job. And he's been desperate for more overs. He wants to get into this match. He wants to do as much as he can for his country here. High in the air, chance of a catch. Fielder comes round. Oh, and
there's only one. Terrell, poor running from Terrell there. Now that Terrell's played well here, but he needs to run hard. Now, we saw in the England game, the intensity dropped in the middle overs.
What's that? Yeah, I've got a license for it. It's fine. Yeah, my license. Well, I've just it's perfect. They hold it.
So 70 from 11.
last man stands T20. Cape Town have said time to kick on Australia, make a game of it. Foot on pedal, says Skoon Gupta. Got to be looking for 2 here, surely. Oh, it's gone for 4. It's a misfield in the deep.
Someone needs to get a message to Terrell. He's got to run that first one hard, yeah. I know it's his 3rd game of the day, but they've got to push hard, turn those 1s into 2s.
Just a gentle breeze there, the Sri Lankan flag just going in the wind here. Australia need a gust, though, to get this forward and make a decent game of it. That's gone long!
A great shot from Srinivasan.
Boom! And there's the first 6 of the Australian innings. That's gone well into the flats here at Chester. Sri Lankan fielder in front of us, first and last, he said there. Shalinka. There he goes again, inside out.
That's 4
and
more.
4 more. This is absolutely unbelievable. Ajika Mendes under massive pressure here from the city end.
It's just what Australia needed. They needed someone to come and get the momentum back for their team.
Srinivasa is just playing a right hand here. 24 off 8, strike rate of 300. Down the wicket again. Found the gap. He's got to push him for 2 here. Maybe not. It's gone a bit straight. We just called the single. So on to Tyrrell now. Tyrrell has to support his partner here now. It's time to go. He's 31 off 26. Licensed to thrill here. Into the slot. He went for it. They've gone for the single. And they've got it. What a brilliant over. 16 runs off it. Peter Bowman with the boom. Hopefully there's a few more to come here.
Peter Bowman must be 4 in the morning there, but great to see you. Followed every ball of Australia here. You must be proud of Sam Lang.
There's a lot of people loving Puri here. A lot of love for him. Asking for him to open. I think the openers did a very solid job, but he's just showing now exactly what can be done.
So Rathanaka to continue.
Into the slot here, down the ground. They're going to look for 2 here. He's coming, he's coming. Chance for a run out. Oh, just to let you know, obviously we have got the option of the 3rd umpire in the pod here.
He was magnificent in the last game. Given a crucial decision.
That was David Nielsen Scott. There was a few people asking me in the bar what my thoughts were. I agreed with our 3rd umpire. And they're going to look for a leg by here.
I thought that the 3rd umpire was just a bit hasty to make the decision. He probably could have had another look. He could have rock and rolled it there. But it's his first time he's ever done it. So.
Nothing like admitting that we've maybe put someone inexperienced in the position, Wayno.
No, he got the right decision. So it's all a learning curve. As long as you get the right answer, it doesn't matter. It's just the approach that concerned me.
So you're saying he got the right decision, but the method behind it was a bit rushed.
Yeah.
Love it. Missed out there.
Got to go. Oh,
Got me 2 there. He's going to go again.
Too. Oh no, this is
wow,
not good from Australia.
So Sri Lanka have got one fielder who's obviously very effective with bat and ball, but less so in the field there. He's just run around as a comfortable 2, and he bowled it in underarm. There was probably a 3, and they got 1.
Weakest fielder there from Sri Lanka. That's better.
A lot better into the deep there.
The Sri Lankans have got their fielders in the right place here. Ajanta Mendes, an astute captain.
Nick O'Connell's going to be struggling at work tomorrow. That's what we want. People staying up late here for the final of the LMS World Series. That's into the slot there. Swung away a little bit too hard. Lost his shape there, Puri. And that's 1 more. But the intent's there. And that's 92 at the end of the 13th over. Run rate around 7. So that'll take them to around 142, 143. They need 20 more than that, definitely. I think 160 is the absolute bare minimum this Australian side can defend here. They say lightning doesn't strike twice, but it's not going to strike 3 times. They need more runs here.
Sri Lanka have got some power hitters in their lineup. They go all the way down.
So Mendes here into his 2nd over.
Oh my word!
There it is again! Boom! 6 into the net area.
That's a great shot. He wasn't to the pitch of the ball.
Hands come through there. One of the legends of the Chester Cricket Club, Warren Goodwin, tried for the crowd catch and missed it. No shock there, his eyes have gone. But his strike rate here up near 260. He comes down the wicket again. And he's gone, but fair play to Puri. He played purely for the team there. And that was a brilliant little cameo. 32 off 13. And 98 for 2 now, the Australian side. And here we go. One of my my favourite players in the world. At last man stands, the Adonis himself, Ziad Abbas, comes to the wicket. He's using a new bat there. Not that I can endorse it, but it's my bat. And it's not one of the co-branded Bass range. But he got this out the car about 20 minutes ago. He likes a heavy bat, so do I.
So 98 for 2. Only 7 overs left in this match.
Little push into the leg side there. Abbas has just got a little bit longer, Wayne, to get himself in. Normally we see him come in kind of that Kyron Pollard IPL role where he's getting 6, 7, 8 balls to strike at maybe 200, 250. Abbas has got a bit longer here, but Tyrrell has now got to take the strike to Sri Lanka.
That's
here
better from Tyrrell.
That's a lovely shot from Tyrrell. And here we go. They've passed 100. They're on 103. And they've got just over 6 overs to set this total now.
Yeah, short boundary on the leg side for the left-hander. Tyrrell moves to 38 from 31.
Sufa Siva really liked Puri's innings there, so did I.
Mendes attempts a bouncer, just didn't come off there.
Peter Bowman telling me a little bit more about Ziad Abbas here. That he won the Newcastle Open with a home run. And this year's hit 3 straight sixes to win the Newcastle Open as well. Any more Ziad Abbas trivia? I'd love to know.
Jake O'Connell's dad, Darren O'Connell, watching. He says, I'm going to work at 3, boys.
He's also hit Monty Panesar for 3 successive sixes. Thanks to Rob there for more Ziad trivia. Hashtag Ziad trivia. But it's Nathan Tyrrell here. He's 40 off 33. If he can just find a couple of boundaries here and retire, it is going to give some of these Aussie batsmen a complete licence to thrill here in the last 6 overs of this innings.
He needs to get to 50 in this over.
It's gone high into the leg side here. Fielder comes round and takes the catch.
Going for the still.
Very clever batting there from Ziad Abbas. But Tyrrell's innings comes to the end there. It's a good catch in the deep. That was Marasinga. And Solomon gets the wicket. And here we are now. It's all in. The sunglasses are off in the poker tournament here as Sam Lam comes to the crease. Aussies are all in.
So Tyrrell started well, then got behind the rate in the middle overs there. Finishes up with 40 runs.
So now with them on a 105 for 3 here, do we think Australia are going to get up to 160? Let's see some of those blue thumbs. Do you think you're going to get over 160 here, or see some of those hearts for Sri Lanka if you think they're going to keep them under 150? Comes in, well bowled. Top of off there.
It's not easy for the new batsman coming in. Got to take a few balls to get used to it.
Down to the deep, Lang off the mark here. So Grievo got probably their 2 most prolific hitters in now.
Yeah, that bat looks like a toothpick in Abbas's hands there. Huge biceps.
He's hit that.
So Abbas.
I think he's got an inside edge on that. Can we rock and roll? Can we rock and roll that?
What do you
quite
think
quickly?
at home when we see the slow motion? Was there a little inside edge there?
When the batter walks off with the bat upside down, that always suggests that he's not happy, I think. We're going to watch that quite quickly. but that could be a massive decision in the big scheme of things here. Just waiting for our boys at QTV just to give us a little replay there. Let's hope he doesn't go in a fit of rage. Could do with that for the weekend.
So Hayden Page, we saw him get his team to 140 in the quarterfinals, batting under the last man stands rule. He's going to need a similar knock here. Sam Lang at the other end, a legend of last man stands cricket. He scored over 12,000 runs at an average of 60, strike rate of 250. Put some context to that, wickets in Australia are non-turf pitches, so the strike rate tends to be a bit higher than turf wickets, but that's an unbelievable record nonetheless. He's also taken 400 wickets at an average of 20.
So this is Hayden Page, batted really well this morning against the Indian side. He's going to have to repeat again here, and Sam Lang's going to have a little chat with him. They've got 5 overs to go here, and they can't afford to stall at all.
So Rathanaka to continue, it looks like. I think this will suit Sam Lang. He likes pace coming on. Sam Lang's the key here.
Really enjoying this final so far. Another dot ball here, and just another little lull in this Australian innings. Rathanaka. Hayden Page did really well this morning. Do you know much about him, Wayno?
Yeah, Hayden Page comes from Coonamble. He's made his cricketing name in ACT.
You got another 6 in a row, yeah, I didn't play yesterday. I just went down.
Some rumours about him having some. Watch his ball.
Another dot. Just looking across at that Australian bench, they look a little bit dejected here. They need to lift themselves. There's a lot of balls left in this innings. They've managed to protect 140, 150 twice today. They need to get up there to give themselves any sort of fighting chance. It's gone high in the air. Shilinka underneath it. That's a great catch. Looking for the steal.
It's falling away for Australia here.
Page had 5 balls without scoring there.
Sri Lanka.
It's a really nice catch, that.
So the new batsman, Marty Henderson.
Someone was telling me a story that obviously Marty Henderson was desperate to do well in this game with the bat here. He lay his bat down on the side and asked him for just one more good game. Give it a little kiss. Ben Williams thinks this 3rd game in the day maybe just too much of a push for the lads here. Did have a long rest day yesterday.
Australia, if they can get to 150, yeah, they've got a chance. Previous 2 games, they've defended that, so that'll give them a lot of confidence coming into the final here.
Yeah, he'll feel better for that.
This is what Henderson does well. He runs the first one hard. So you're going to see the intensity pick up with these two at the crease now.
There must be a few LMS games between these two, Wayno.
Yeah, I think there's been 100,000 LMS games between these two. I'll get the exact stats for you shortly as we look at the scorecard.
Just fell away massively, haven't they? That innings from Puri Srivansa.
I can confirm there's 25,000 runs between these two LMS players. Henderson with 13,000 and Lang with 12,000.
Umeshwaranga saying the Sri Lankans are rocking here. Conor Barber mentioning that the GOAT's out there batting at the moment.
Yeah, I think if Australia lose this game, they might look back at the overs 6-10 when nothing really happened for them.
That's a really firm shot by Lang. Got a good chance here. Great bit of fielding. Got to look for two here. Henderson's quick. And he's come back. That's good. That's much better. They needed this much earlier.
This is what was missing in the earlier overs.
Paul Kearney wants to see the LMS GOAT whack it here. Anyone want to explain to me who the GOAT is?
I'll save that for Rob Stevenson in a second.
He's going to push Sri Lanka here. Oh, a little roll and throw.
Was that for the cameras?
Hit 5 sixes in his innings before. Strike rate of over 300 in a brutal display against Singapore. That's a really nice shot. Didn't see the man down there. He blended in with some of the spectators. Ben Williams wants to see Lange play the ramp.
I think Lange's going to go straight, yeah.
Got a chance here, he just hasn't got all of it. It's going to skid on. That's amazing fielding again from Sri Lanka.
Sri Lankans bowling good lengths, yeah.
If anyone watching us here is also watching the Liverpool game, if you could maybe just tell me the score, that'd be great. So yeah, lads, apparently it's 4-0 Liverpool.
Australia could do with Abdul Razak coming in next. As we look at the Bass promotion.
It's
two
another
wides.
wide as well. That's probably just what was needed here. So if we can just make this into a big over, the Australians will feel a lot better. See if they can get it up to 130 by the end of this over. That's a great shot, firmly hit into the outfield. At point, 1 for Lang.
But again, Ajanta Mendes has got the fielders in the right places, yeah. There's a big gap between fine leg and mid-wicket boundary, yeah. That's a great shot from Henderson.
And there he is. I've just been told that Marty Henderson's the GOAT. Thanks to all the people letting me know about the Liverpool score. That's a massive help. And the goal scorers.
I think he saw Sharan Fernando at extra cover. Sharan's from the same state as Marty Henderson.
Clever bit of bowling there. Great comeback. Is there anyone else left in the shed for Australia who could clear the ropes, or is it all down to Lange? As Marty Henderson just gets a bit of glove on it, runs the single.
They've got the young O'Connell to come next. He can wheel the willow, but I think these two are the experienced players, so one of them is going to have to find a way.
Azhar Mohammed here, just mentioning that the Sri Lankan club side won the World Champs last year, is that correct?
Yeah, Ajanta Mendes got the opportunity here to become a double champion in LMS. He's done it with his club side, Venora, in the World Champs. And got to be honest, Sri Lanka look like they're favourites to do it here in the World Series.
Same Farhat reckons 140 is a good score. That's a great shot by Henderson out into the deep. Good bit of fielding. Lang comes back for 2 here.
I think against a lot of other teams that would have been 4. Mendes gets his angles right here every time.
He's been good, hasn't he? He's been really good in the field. Where's that gone this time?
Just outstanding from the
Good
Sri
bit of
Lankans.
fielding.
This is outstanding.
You just seem a level above, don't they, at the moment?
It's not only the fielding, but it's the game awareness, Lee.
There it is, high in the air. Fielder's coming round. Oh, he went for the catch, but it's gone for 4.
Just when we were building them up,
Just faded away there. Any of you golfers out there? Just drifted away from the fielder. The fielder went for the glory of the catch there. He didn't quite get there, and it's run away for 4. Sam Lang could be 2 here. Henderson's pushing here out to Slinker.
Henderson's going to go to... Oh.
Don't think Lang helped him there. So 6 balls left in this contest. How many do they need, Wayno?
I think Australia have got enough already. They defended 140 in the quarterfinal. The Sri Lankans are in trouble, yeah.
Anyone who's been listening to Grievo on the comms all week, he's done well to give any sort of straight answer, and all of a sudden, obviously he's had a couple last night and he thinks 140 is enough. Well, let's hope for the good of the game that it may be, Wayno, but I think it needs one big last over, maybe even a home run to take the momentum in with the Australians.
155 still on the card, yeah. It's got a home run written all over it. For those of you that don't know, the last ball of the innings, if it's hit for 6, it's worth 12. And Marty Henderson's had a few of those in his career. And so is Sam Lang.
I love this bowler. He's warmed up profusely after every ball. Into the wicket. That's a good shot. He's going to look for 2 here. It's in the gap. Come back for 2. I reckon anything around 145 they'll be happy with here. Make sure they get 10 off this over. Solomon's 2 wickets so far in this innings.
They've had the advantage of playing 2 games on this pitch already. So they'll have their bowling strategies worked out.
Peter Bowman, loving your positivity, Wayno.
It's clever bowling from Rathanaka. Realising Henderson was wanting to give himself room. He fired in at the pads. So Sri Lankans play a very professional brand of LMS cricket. Got clear strategies with the ball. Very good field placing.
The economy rates are just amazing for these Sri Lankan bowlers. It's a good shot again in the deep. They're going to try and push. Oh, a little misfield here. He's coming back. That's amazing running.
Just shows Lee how often there is 2 when you push that first one hard.
So they've got to 140 here. 2 balls to go. Maybe a boundary and then a home run, and we could be looking at 155 here.
Well, 6 and a 12 will get them to 160.
Oh, down the... He's got to come back for 2 here. Henderson knows it as well. He's got to come back for 2. That's out, that. I'm really surprised Henderson just hasn't run anyway to get Sam Lang on strike there.
Henderson's a big moment player, so he'll be thinking he's the man for the 12. Yeah.
Just asking Rob in the back of the box, is Henderson a home run hitter? That was my thought, that maybe you just get Sam Lang on strike.
How many home runs has Marty Henderson hit in his career? We've got confirmation that it's 11. So,
yeah, it's all that.
1 ball to
In
come.
the air. Where's he going, Grievo?
I think it's going to be straight into the commentary tent, yeah.
Bowler's going to go back for length, I reckon. There it is. And a dot. So we were talking about 160, Wayno. He finished on 141.
Yeah, 22 much for the Sri Lankans there. Sri Lankans will feel that they're going to have to bat well, yeah. In all seriousness, the Australians 20 to 30 short there.
But look, I think the Sri Lankans are going to come out firing.
So the man behind the scenes the tactician, Sharan Fernando. Sharan, just talk us through that fielding display.
Thanks, man. Yeah, we were hoping Aussies will go for 180, but we were so lucky to restrict them down to 141. Yeah, boys done well. Yeah, happy about the effort. Yeah.
And I heard some rumours that you're going for the bonus point win. Is that correct?
I'm happy with the winning either way. Bonus point, why not?
Okay, well, good luck. Okay, Lee, I'm going to be leaving the commentary box. Rob Stevens going to be joining you here.
Thanks, Wayne. So, end of the Australian innings there, first innings of the inaugural LMS World Series final. 141 for 6, something to bowl at, but we'd think it looks about 20 to 30 short. Just a few moments there that could have gone a bit differently. The promotion of Ziad Abbas up the order was obviously a bit of a gamble by the Aussies. We feel he may have been a bit unlucky with that LBW shout. We're yet to have another proper look at it. Real bit of impetus, input by Puri Srinivasan there at number 3, 32 off 13. But it was a bit sedate in the first 10 or 11 overs, Lee. As we saw from the two openers, 27 off 28 for Brodie Dwyer. Nathan Tyrrell started well and got going at the end, but they may feel that they left a few runs out there on the field. Sri Lankan bowling figures. Marasinghe, 2 very tight overs there, 2 overs, none for 25, while Ajantha Mendis, he of the second best T20 international bowling average ever, went for 1 for 28 off just 2 overs, so he'll be disappointed with that.
That probably just shows the depth of the Sri Lankan side, though. They didn't have to go back to him. And there's some amazing figures there. You know, Marasinghe went for 5 off 2 overs, didn't get another bowl.
Amazing stuff there. And also Ratnayaka, 4 overs, 1 for 21. Fine stuff from the Sri Lankans. They came into the tournament as pre-tournament favourites. They beat Australia in the pool stages, and they look well on course for a victory here. It's crucial that Australia pick up a couple of early wickets here.
They're living up to the billing here, aren't they? They really are.
So the question is, with young Jake O'Connell's back, he's been opening for Australia the whole tournament, and he's got a serious back injury. Told me just before the game, look, it's only 4 overs. I'll get through them. Good attitude from the young lad. May not get this chance again, so he might as well muscle through the pain.
Definitely, and he's been extremely unlucky that he's not had the opportunity to pick up more wickets. But as the clock just comes up towards 4 o'clock here at Chester Boughton Hall Cricket Club, the World Series is in its final innings of the week. Australia, Sri Lanka in this final here.
So Jantha Mendis, he's been going well with the bat most of the tournament. He showed his pedigree with the bat as well in Cape Town in December in the World Championships. Won batsman of the tournament there. So for me, he's one of the big wickets there. Lee, who else would be your picks?
Well, he got a blistering 50 against the USA earlier in the week. I'd probably say Andy Dexter-Solomons, who has been amazing throughout the whole week here, or Duan Rakakaruna. I'm pretty sure that's wrong, so sorry to anyone related to him. But he's got a couple of really good runs as well. The strength in the Sri Lankan batting lineup is the fact that so many people are contributing. And then Shalika, who was down in front of us before, he came in against Singapore and basically killed the game he just took it away. He hit 5 sixes and faced 10 balls.
That's it. Strength and depth of these Sri Lankans is unbelievable. They're all proven top draw players over in Sri Lanka. 3 of them playing for Army Cricket Club over there together, one of whom is Ajantha Mendis. So we look at their tournament so far. They started out beating Australia by 32 runs, and a comprehensive defeat of the USA by 6 wickets. Followed up by beating Singapore by 32 runs. Took on South Africa next, beat them by 5 wickets. Their match against Wales was unfortunately rained out. So really justifying their tag as pre-tournament favourites. We have another look here at the Australian scorecard. You look at the 2 openers there, Lee. Add up that, you got 62 balls between them for 67 runs. Last man stands, is that enough?
I don't know, I actually look at that scorecard and one person's performance just stands out like a sore thumb in Puri. Got 32 off 13, and that level of intensity, whether it was the running between the wickets or the shot making, you know, that's basically 2.5 overs to get 30. So that's 17 and a half overs to get 100. That's barely 5 and over. It's just not enough. And the running between the wickets for me in all 20 overs just didn't have that intensity. I hope for the good of the game here that they have got enough and they're going to be able to put up a really good fight. But at the moment, I think Australia feel like they've probably left 20 out on the field.
I think they'll be feeling that exactly. I mean, the two openers, they you could argue they put a good platform on there, and Puri did launch, and there are a lot of other big hitters down the order that could have launched and didn't come off. So, things could have gone their way after that platform, and obviously that's what they were planning and playing for, but unfortunately it didn't go that way for the Australians. Sri Lanka, pretty much throughout the whole of the innings, were excellent in the field, took their chances well. 1 or 2 slight mistakes. Just look back over towards the west here, so southwest where often the weather comes from. That's the
wind's just getting up a little bit here, so
towards Wales.
Hopefully be a quick turnaround.
You can see the clubhouse there in the bottom left of your screen. All the crowd packed on the terrace and out the front. It's a great atmosphere at Chester Boughton Hall. Excitement building for this second innings.
Just for my friend Ali, who was a good friend of mine that did a lot of commentary with in Pakistan. I've gone above him in the Fantasy League football, which is exactly what we were talking about earlier in the week, so I hope he's watching at home.
It's a huge commentary stint for you here, Lee, and a 4-0 win for Liverpool. This is exciting times.
It literally is so exciting, and I'm also going to look forward to the carvery lunch that's up in the clubhouse afterwards. So,
actually, just before walking over here, they said that the carvery had just run out. I think they got massively hit today.
Well, thanks, Rob, for your uplifting thoughts there, as I'm now going to be searching on TripAdvisor for somewhere else to eat.
So here we look at this game situation. 141 in the first innings from Australia, so Sri Lanka will just have to go at 7 and over to secure the first LMS World Series, so strong favourites. Australia needing early wickets. 2 opening bowlers, probably v Jake O'Connell and Marty Henderson. We'll see if Jake's back is up to it. Look across, we've seen Nick Compton there and a few of the other England players staying around to support the final. Magnificent tournament from them, and that was just a shocker from them, Lee, to lose that semi-final against Australia. But Australia have showed us twice today the mental strength that they have, so they're definitely going to need that here in defending this total. So here we have Dilya Hapagoda coming in to join me in the commentary box. He'll be talking us through a few of the Sri Lankan players. Welcome.
Thanks, Rob. Nice to see you here.
So can you tell us a bit about your background?
Yeah, I've been living in Chester in the UK for a long time, playing for Chester Boughton Hall. Obviously, I'm originally from Sri Lanka. Played all the youth cricket in Sri Lanka up to Sri Lankan under-19, and then moved to UK and changed my career.
And how well do you know any of these Sri Lankan players outside of Ajantha Mendis?
Yeah, I know Ajantha. We haven't played together, but obviously he's an international star, good cricketer. Yeah, some of the players, and I know even Hiroshin, I know him very well. The United States Sri Lankans are doing well here.
So what have you, from what you've seen in tournaments so far, these Sri Lankan batsmen, If you had to pick 3 big wickets that Australia need to give themselves a chance of defending this total, who would be the 3 players?
I think I'm quite impressed by Andy Sullivan. He's a star player. I don't know him personally, but I see him last 3 games. You know how he construct the innings, how disruptive he can be. So he could be a good player to watch. I think he's off in the bat, I guess. And then Eroshan, don't underestimate him as well. So he's a kind of player.
Eroshan de Silva.
Yeah. So he's a kind of player, you play the game, so others can bat around him, and then he's a smart cricketer. So because I might be a little bit biased because I know him quite well and played with him, against him a few times.
And of course, Ajantha Mendes, he's been in terrific form. He's a huge wicket. So we look out, Marty Henderson. Where's he running off to there? So Marty not coming out here to long on. So I wonder if he will be opening up. You'd assume so. He has got a bit of a dodgy knee, which he seems to be exercising down there at third man. So we may see a change of opening bowling partnership here from the Australians. But young Jake O'Connell, 17-year-old, be opening up once again for Australia. Left arm around the wicket, like he's done all tournament. He's got a bad back, but he's just going to muscle through it for this game. So let's see the pace of this first delivery.
Nice shot. Shooting it off for a 1 run. Good start.
Good lines there from Jake O'Connell. So with that bowling performance there, the Sri Lankan bowling lineup, they've kept the pressure on every match of this tournament. What do you think their main strengths are?
I think it's they bowl as a unit. Obviously, you can see you'd have thought Ajantha would be a leading bowler, but he bowled only 2 overs. So others chipped in, put the lid on Australians to restrict to 140. So I mean, it's a complete team effort. Not like 1 or 2 players dominating the whole side, which is a good sign. So it tells you why they're doing well in the competition.
Absolutely, good with the ball, good around the field, support each other, and obviously great with the bat. So that one just went for 2 down to Brodie Dwyer. Jake O'Connell comes on for his 3rd ball here. That one's cut fine down to Marty Henderson, who takes that well. So just a single down there to wide third man. He's effectively on the 45. Then we've got a man between, well, out in the deep, probably deep cover, almost extra cover. The long off is fairly wide, long on. Backward square leg on the boundary, and then a deep mid wicket.
It's a good ball, good single towards the 3rd man.
Marty Henderson comes in. He'll be disappointed to have not got a hold of the last ball of that innings. You can see that, and previous delivery, Sam Lang run out. So Australia would have hoped for 6 or 7 runs from those last 2 deliveries, but ended up just getting the 1 run.
And he's alone on the strike at the moment.
So Andy Solomon's opening up with Dinawan Rajakaruna. First over ends 5 runs off it from young Jake O'Connell. So tight start from in there just as the rain begins.
Yeah,
so
it started to coming in, but I don't think it's going to last long. I can see where the clouds coming from, a little bit brightening up. Maybe the passing shower.
Just a passing shower, juicing up the wicket a bit. Make the ball stick a bit more, maybe. Just
Yeah,
what
I
Australia
think
needs.
so. But might skid a bit as well.
So Marty Henderson is on to bowl, so he's come up from wide third man. Ball out to the deep. They'll come back for 2 there, Sri Lanka. Sotherman Srinivasan throws it in.
Right. I played that wicket yesterday, Rob. It was a little bit too pace, sticky a little bit, but I think it might help for the Sri Lankans. The ball coming through nicely with a bit of rain.
The rain actually looks a lot worse on camera than it is in reality. Admittedly, we're sheltered here in the commentary tent, but it is very light drizzle. So Marty Henderson, tight start here. Need a few tight overs from Australia just to try and lift that run rate. He's clearly decided to show us his manly chest here. Marty Henderson today. I don't know what kind of style that is in a big game, but here we go. Through to the keeper, good bowling from Henderson.
Yeah, the Anderson hold up his length a bit. I think a little bit slow on the pace. I think it's a good variation on that ball. Andy completely misread the pace of the ball.
So the situation now, 134 runs are required off 92 balls. Good bowling there from Henderson. Good to have another look at that. He knows it as well. Go. Wow, was that a chance? What do you think?
No, yeah, it's a close one. I think I don't think he nicked it, but I think it's a miss. Beautiful.
Right in the gap there.
Right in the gap, and he middled it. I think perfection for that shot, and then right in the gap, like you mentioned, it's a good shot, that one.
So Andy Solomon's getting going there. Wasn't a huge gap between a wideish third man and Deepak's cover, but he saw it and.
But it's a bit of a shorter
shot.
boundary. It helps as soon as you put in the gap. I think because the skiddiness of the square, because of the rain, it will skid it through.
Absolutely. So
yeah.
maybe a wetter ball here for Jake O'Connell coming on for his second over. Roger Karuna out to backward point, does very well with the pick up there, Marty Henderson, but it looks like they'll come back for two, and they do quite comfortably in the end. He did.
Yeah, it's a good two. It's always nice to get first run quicker because of the wetness of the ball. It's difficult to get in once, and so if you push it, and there's always been 2 runs in taking.
Just singling the offside, and as you can see on your screen, if you're watching this and you want to get involved in Last Man Stands 2020 cricket, 2-hour matches all around the world, just go to lastmanstands.com/join. Whether you're looking to enter a side, whatever ability, there's grading to suit all team abilities, or if you just want to get involved as an individual. Back to the final here, and wide down the leg side there.
Yeah, that could be wide. It's a wide.
Big wide there from young Jake O'Connell. It must have just slipped a bit in his hand, or he just held on to it a little bit too long, but very good take from Sam Lang behind the stumps.
Yeah, it looks a bit struggling to grip the ball because of the wetness with the rain that we had right now.
Come back there from
There's
Jake
a great
O'Connell, but
shot.
it's over the commentary box, put it in the right area.
The nice shot, Andy. I think he middled it nicely, that one.
Well, Jake O'Connell didn't do a lot wrong there, maybe just a bit too full.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, Rob, I think it helps Sri Lanka a little bit with the rain, but it skidded through nicely. But the wicket generally stick a bit, but that one came through nicely, isn't it?
Got well out of his crease there, Solomons. Wide over our commentary position. Brilliant shot.
Another great shot over the mid-wicket. And is, like I said, he's a good player, so he won't miss that kind of bad balls. He just keep going with this kind of performance, and he's been having this season, so this series.
18 off 9 deliveries now for Andy Solomons. It's going really well here. Now the cut shot into the gap. Well, he's really dominating this final in terms of the batting. This is brilliant stuff from Solomons.
Yeah, I mean, I think the Australia need to think a bit more smart in here. The ball coming nicely, skidded through nicely. A little bit pace off the ball might help to grip a bit, and then mistime it. So anything pace on the ball, I think it's coming nicely to the bat.
Real grimace there from Jake O'Connell as he comes back out to long off here. I think he's really feeling that back injury. I think that'll be a big part of it, trying to muscle through the pain in a big match context as well. End of his second over, and an expensive one there. None for 23 for his 2 overs now, so the match situation is 30 for none of 3 overs.
Roger Karuna is pacing at the moment.
So who's on? Marty Henderson to bowl the 4th over.
Yeah, that's a good one. Pace of the ball, it came back in. I think that's the way to go. If they want to keep the lead on Sri Lankan batsmen, they need to get the pace of the ball.
Absolutely, they've got to get a bit of pressure on Raja Karuna. Andy Solomon's obviously in terrific nick. So this is the man that they've got to try and tie down here. Wide outside the off stump.
He gave him a little bit of room, and then I think the ball kept it low a little bit, and they missed it.
Marty encouraging his fielders there. Just one big last effort. He knows how important it is to get the wicket of Andy Solomons. He's looked fantastic for his 22 off 10 balls so far. Slower ball, skewed away.
Yeah, I think Australians doing the right thing, take the pace off the ball.
So taking the pace off the ball, do you think that they should bring on the spin of Nathan Tyrrell early here, or are the Sri Lankan players adapt to playing that spin?
I think so. I think they need to get Andy, so he's timed really well.
Good wicket keeping there from Sam Lang. He's had very quick hands since he's taken over the gloves during the tournament.
Even though it's not a pass score 1-4, but always been pressure in the final game. If you lose a couple of wickets or a little bit of panicky kind of mindset start in the dressing room, and then always it's difficult to get. It's kind of a good thing to get early wicket, especially someone like Andy. So he hit him beautiful. And
absolutely, early wicket was much needed here from Australia. Still relatively early, so one wicket, often followed by a second. So
paddle sweep from Rajakaruna for one run.
Just got to get a bit of pressure here on Solomons. The Australians try and rein him in a little bit. Otherwise, it's just easy for Raja Karuna to carry on going at a run a ball. End of the fourth over there, 33 for no loss. So tight stuff from Marty Henderson. 2 overs, none for 9.
Yeah, he bowled really well, Martin, especially the last over.
It's an early bowling change again. Hayden Page coming on to bowl. So we won't see the pace taken off with Nathan Tyrrell's bowling. It'll be interesting to see when he starts today. Australia's only spin option. A lot of calls coming in for big Ziad Abbas to come in and get 4 overs today, for him to come on earlier.
Yeah, it's a full shot. Short and wide, 4 runs. It's a bad ball, that one.
Disappointing start there from Hayden Page. Just a half tracker. Sat in the wicket. Plenty of time there for Raja Karuna. Dealt it through mid-wicket. Page will be looking for the comeback ball here.
Another short ball.
Disappointing start from Hayden Page. Again, short of a length. And Raja Karuna just showing that that's playing to his strengths there.
Yeah, both batters batting really well. Anything loose, I think these two not wasting their time. There's enough gap in the field. You got only 3-3 with the both sides, but one side particularly short as well.
Better bowling there from Hayden Page. Took a bit of pace off it. Single out to back square leg. Nathan Tyrrell brings Andy Solomons on strike. An interesting so far that 10 balls from Marty Henderson has gone for 9 runs, and then 33 runs off the other 13 balls. So needs a bit of support here, Marty.
Yeah, that's a good land. There's a couple for Andy. It's good running in the middle.
Back comfortably for 2 there. So are there many Sri Lankans up around this Cheshire area?
Yeah, quite a few, especially not in Chester. I think Wrexham and Liverpool. Quite a few, Sri Lankans cricketers around and playing different leagues. Some coming as a pros. Yeah, it's always been quite good.
Straight down the ground there, and it goes to long off, and Jake O'Connell, the young 17-year-old, almost a chance. Well, not really a chance there for a double play, but he just held his nerve there, the young man. He's got that injury, could have distracted him, but Hayden Page bounces back with a much-needed wicket for the Australians. Crucial wicket there. Andy Solomons was going along very well. 25 off 12 balls. He had hit 3 fours and a 6. Massive wicket. So let's just have another look at this wicket here.
Yeah, again, it's a little bit of pace of the ball. He mistimed it. That's a big wicket, Andy.
Massive wicket there for the Australians. He was going along at almost a 200 strike rate there, so crucial. And that brings Ajantha Mendis to the crease, the former Sri Lankan international. So get one great batsman out, and then you've got Ajantha Mendis coming to the crease there.
Yeah, he's doing well in the bat as well, isn't he? In the last few games, he got a few runs.
Certainly did that, and he dominated in Cape Town at the World Championships back in December with his club side Venora as they won the title, and he picked up a Batsman of the Tournament award. There you go, Andy Solomons back on the sidelines after a terrific opening knock, 25 off 13 balls. Marty Henderson into the attack, and
it's a great shot, back foot dry through the gap. That's a great shot from Raj Karma.
So Dinawan Rajakaruna really getting going now. 22 off 14 deliveries, and he was 8 off 9 deliveries. So he's got his iron now, and this is dangerous for the Australians. They really do need a couple more quick wickets. They've got to believe in their ability to get those wickets now and haul themselves back into this final. Beautiful paddle sweep. Yeah, I think that's gone as well. Runs away. There's a big gap there.
Smart batting from Sri Lanka.
Square. Very smart batting from Sri Lanka there.
Raja Karma is picking up right now. He got 26 off 15 balls. Started a bit slow, but he didn't need to go for the big at the beginning because Andy was hitting well. I think he's trying to get a few more runs in the next few overs and until Ajantha gets settled in.
So 53 runs off 5.3 overs now. Marty Henderson in his 3rd over. First 2 overs just went for 9. He's taken a bit of tap this over. Respectfully defended there from Ajantha Mendis.
That's a good length to ball at on that wicket.
Marty's got to know Ajantha a bit during the tournament, I believe. I think they've bumped into each other a couple of times late at night, so a bit of respect there shown for the bowler by Mendis. And again,
excellent bowling from Marty.
Finishes that over well, so strong character there from Henderson to bounce back from those 2 fours with a single and 2 dot balls. 3 overs, none for 18 for Marty, and we'll see Hayden Page come back into the attack, buoyed by that wicket in his last over. Ajantha Mendis, if we look at his LMS record there, 22 matches now, averaged about 40. But it's more the context that he scored those runs in. It's an average of 40, which generally for last man stands, the top batsman isn't so high. But that's an average in the major tournaments. Okay, that's at the World Championships and a World Series. And also back at the national qualifying in Sri Lanka, so highly competitive tournaments that he scored those runs in.
But he read the game well, isn't he? So he played for the situation, and so he's coming in a really good situation right now. So hopefully I think he can hold up one end, and then Rajesh Karna started hitting, a few shots right now, so taking a bit of pressure off from him. It helps him to settle down a little bit in the middle. So all right, Rob, thank you very much.
Thanks for joining us with your thoughts. And here we have Lee Dixon back in the commentary box. Welcome back, Lee. So did you manage to find the carvery open?
No, the carvery wasn't open. But I did manage to see a bit of a feast of batting in these first 6 overs. Looks like a very solid start from the Sri Lankans. Dilwan there, 29 off 17. Thanks to Dil for stepping in the box there.
Good inside there from Dill.
I'm sure his son Liam, who's probably a bigger cricket badger than me, will be loving that.
Well, Liam's been benefiting from a bit of coaching off some of the internationals, hasn't he?
Yeah, very much enjoyed Marcus North. If you follow Dill on Twitter, you'll see that Liam managed to track down every marquee player possible and probably give them a bit of coaching as well.
So Hayden Page, a bit of pressure on him after his first 2 deliveries, but he's got that wicket, and it's a better over so far, fuller length.
I think they'll go to Tyrrell soon. I think
they need a change, Australia here, Lee, and either him or Ziad Abbas. I mean, again, I feel with these big match moments, Tyrrell stepped up to the plate every time he's bowled this tournament, and Ziad as well. He was stinging for more overs, as he said to us at the before the match.
It's a bit of a giveaway, that, wasn't it, really, from Ziad? I thought he was quite clear. He was desperate to get into the game earlier.
Page to finish off his second over.
Just worries me if they leave it that late this time. I think the game will be long gone.
Absolutely. I mean, the match situation now, 7 overs, the score already 61 runs. So if you're looking at the context now, Sri Lanka are needing 81 runs from 65 balls with 7 wickets in hand, and set batsmen at the crease and Ajanta Mendes the other end. They really need a couple of quick wickets here, and it's got to be someone that makes something happen. They can't get away with these 1s and 2s and carry on drifting.
Yeah, I think realistically you've got to be looking at Tyrrell for me. I think take the ball away from the bat. The Sri Lankans will look to sweep and they'll play some big shots.
So Marty Henderson coming back on for his 4th over now. It's been a tight spell so far, 3 overs, none for 18. So can he finish this well?
Is this a usual tact for Marty to really start taking the pace off bowling cutters here, or is this just he's obviously looking at the wicket, or maybe a bit tired? Or
he does like the variation, and he has been talking about that a lot. So, you know, I think he's been thinking about how he's bowling, and I think it's certainly a tactic that he's adopted in this tournament more than he usually would.
Brodie Dwyer in front of us just saying that he's got a bit of an injury there. As
big effort by Hayden Page on the boundary, but he can't prevent another boundary there from Raja Karuna, who's really getting going now. 5th boundary for him.
I think that's the big thing though, isn't it, Rob? Look at that already. You know, we're 7 overs in and there's been 8 4s and a 6. You know, go back to the Australian innings. I think I'd be surprised if there was that many in the whole innings.
Yeah, some real urgency here from the Sri Lankans.
Into the deep here.
Good fielding from Ziad Abbas in the deep. Throws it back in. Chance for a run out. Oh, it's just a bit wide from the stumps. A bit close to the stumps there with the throw, and that could have been a chance. Ziad in the deep, and he's looking back and flexing his muscles. And is that maybe he's trying to suggest that he should have a bowl soon? In the gap again. This is beautiful batting.
That's great fielding, Jacob Connell there.
In. They come back from 2, so good urgent running again from the Sri Lankans. They're not content just to go with the boundaries. The amount of 2s that they've already hit this innings as well just really add up.
Just a little comparison here. Australia scored 12 4s and 2 6s, and already Sri Lanka, after 8 overs, have got 8 4s and a 6. So they're miles ahead on the boundary count. Oh, I think that was a little chance, little bottom edge there. Would have been a very good catch.
I think they'll also be miles ahead on running the 2s as well. A lot of urgent running so far, and just turning 1s into 2s. There's been several of those already.
Well, you look at it all. We've been saying front pitch that the pass score's 180. If we were looking now at 180 for the Australians here, this will be a grandstand finish. But unless the Australian team get some wickets, this is going to be a bit of a procession here.
There we go. We look at Marcus North, the Australia international, who had a good tournament with Australia. Boy, they could have done with him in the batting today. That's with his Bass LMS bat. Want more information on the Bass range? lastmanstands.com/BAS. So here we go. Nathan Tyrrell to bowl the 9th over. Australia's spin option. Goes for a reverse. There you go. Was that reverse sweep, switch hit almost?
It's a beautiful shot though, isn't it?
Lovely stuff, and that shows the confidence against the spin straight up, targeting that short boundary, and that'll get Nathan Tyrrell a bit worried. He didn't look worried about that at all, the batsman.
I tell you what, the Sri Lankan team look relaxed, don't they? I think we feel like they're well on top here.
Absolutely, I think they'll be having a good night tonight, potentially, these Sri Lankans. Again, that one a bit finer. Hayden Page coming around, does great work in the deep, so he'll help save 2 runs there, but Australia really need wickets here.
Switch it again.
Okay, doesn't quite get hold of that. It goes out to Srinivasan, an Australian of Sri Lankan descent.
Just to give you a little insight for some younger players out there, so the batsman there is switching his hand, so he's got the ball spinning into him, but it also means that the ball can pitch outside leg. Okay, so that rule comes out of it.
He's got it. Quick hands again from him. Has he given it? Looks
and we've gone to the third umpire here.
Third umpire decision. Sam Lang looks very confident. We've seen quick hands from him already this tournament, and now we'll both be quiet and let the third umpire review this.
So Nathan Tyrrell just goes past the bat here, so obviously I won't give my opinion because the third umpire is right next to us here, so I'm going to keep very quiet about my thoughts, but good bit of bowling from Tyrrell here, just a little bit of grip. Goes past there, very quick work from Lang. Now this is going to be the angle here. Did we see what the soft signal was there? So the soft signal, by the looks of it, was not out. We need, just to the TV crew, if we could go back to the side on vision, please. This is a key moment in this game here. Thank you. So it's a little drag of the foot there. Does he manage to get his foot back? Okay, so he's about to make his decision now, the third umpire. This is extremely close. TV crew, can you go back to the third umpire, please? Yeah.
He's got him. So I thought was that his foot was still on the line at best. It was very quick hands there, Lee, from Sam Lang.
It's took 3 or 4 looks at that, but the third umpire is more than happy with the views there. So very short work from Lang.
That's a big wicket there. They really needed that. Dinawan, Raja Karuna was going very well there. 38 off 23 deliveries. He hit 5 boundaries, so Australia really needed something. And as I say, 1 wicket brings 2, so Australia have really just got to do that now.
Well, we are lucky in this commentary position that we do have a couple of different screens down here and a couple of different views that you don't get to see at home. And there was one quite conclusive angle there, which the third umpire managed to work with, and he's gone.
So Sri Lanka's disappointed with that loss. So a new batsman, Shalika. Oh, here we go. Karuna Ratna. So Karuna Ratna survives his first delivery.
Great name, this. Shalika Karuna Arthur.
Well, we'll go with
what was your pronunciation?
Karuna Ratna, I think.
Karuna Ratna. What a pro.
Jantha Mendes still down the other end. He's now become a key wicket. nip out another wicket soon, the Aussies. It could get a few of the Sri Lankans doubting with their top order gone.
Well, the big thing about Shalika's wicket here is he was the big hitter before in the semi-final win over Singapore. So obviously he's the guy, you know, if he gets going for 5 overs, this game is dead and buried. But if they can get him quickly and get Mendes, there's a lot of guys there that are undercooked in that lower middle order.
So we have Pura Sotherman, Srinivasan bowling for the Australians here. So originally of Sri Lankan descent, playing for Australia. He's been in Australia a long time now, from Sydney. So he'll be really determined to get one up on his former countryman here.
As he comes in from the City Road end, a little bit quicker, trying to just arrow into those pads there.
Good start here from Srinivasan. Tight first couple of balls.
This is where maybe Australia may wish they maybe had one more frontline
Big
bowler.
shot there.
That is an unbelievable shot. And that is 6. Boom! Into extra cover there. And it didn't take him long. The 6-hitting maestro Shalika with his 6th 6 of the day. 5 in the semi, and that's his first so far in this final.
That's a brilliant shot there, opening up his body inside out, over extra cover. Just had a quick look at Puri, the first 2 balls.
Oh my God, what a player this lad is. He's just rocked onto the back foot and hit it for 6 over extra cover.
That shot's potentially even better than the previous one, isn't it? Let's have a look at this.
That is ridiculous hand speed, brilliant wrists.
Just
and another piece of fencing goes, and that's another invoice for LMS cricket. And that's another one out to deep square. Boom! Shalika's going wild here. That's 18 off 5, 3 6s. Don't mess around with the singles when this boy's around.
So just as Srinivasan, tight start to the over, single and a dot ball. Shalika had a look at him and then was like, right, well, I'll have a bit of this. 2 extra cover 6 and a massive one.
Another over like that. Australia will be starting the car because they'll be going home.
Yeah, hell of a long car journey down to Australia, I think, Lee.
Better be a diesel then. Keep it economic.
I think Marty Henderson will be happy with that. So 96 for 2 at the turn now. So switching ends. Last man stands, bowled 10 overs from each end. Huge pressure on the Australians here.
Just looking in front of the pavilion here. Bjorn Briggs doing the presentations over there at the Masters tournament that's been running simultaneously with this one. Been a fantastic event. Some of the over 35s enjoying some LMS international cricket here. So that's been a real highlight. Great to see so many people down at the Chester Cricket Club.
Such talent in this Sri Lankan batting lineup. All of the players so far just exhibiting some great shot play around the ground. We got the South African Masters and the Pakistan Masters boys over there.
Blake van der Linde and Simon Dunning just hovering round. Obviously know that they're quite old as well, so they'll be thinking of the Masters tournament potentially in years to come. It's a nice shot. Is that Matty Angus there?
Good, Tizzy boy. Come on, Teaser!
So for a few more one-liners, we have your favourite South African, Ross Kaywood, coming back into the commentary box. Welcome, Roscoe.
Rob, it's been a pleasure, by the way. I've really enjoyed your company in here.
Thanks, Lee. True legend in the commentary box, and we look forward to many more LMS games of commentary from you yet around the world.
That sounds like a free plane ticket somewhere for me, so look forward to that. You heard it here live.
Thanks for the introduction, Robbo. Hi, Lee.
Hi, Ross. Always good to have you in the box. And this really is close to the fat lady singing here, Ross.
A little story for you, Lee. On my way down to the commentary box, this little boy walked up to me with his bat, and he asked me if I could if you could have my signature. I said to him, more than happy to, but I'm no one famous. And he said, well, it's okay then. And I didn't get a signature.
Okay, brutal. Probably needs a bit of work, that, Ross, if it's going to go in your after dinner speech, but it's covered a few moments while we're just waiting for Sam Lang to get his breath back here. If you want any more of Ross's tales, there's a blog going on. Be going on in the middle of the night as Tyrrell finds the edge. Great ball as it runs down to the third man. Tales of Ross. That'll be going on the App Store later. See if the cameraman can find that young man looking round for someone more famous than Ross. Tyrrell's unlucky. That was a great ball. It's gripped and spun, and
He's getting some good purchase out of the wicket.
Mendes is dealing with this like the true pro he is here, the marquee player. Just happy to knock it round. And Zerdabas here, who obviously did a great job, is going to be left way too late here, isn't he?
I think so. Well bowled, Nathan Tyrrell.
So just in the background there, you can see the Last Man Stands banner. If you've been enjoying this week's cricket and you fancy getting into Last Man Stands, check out the Last Man Stands website, whether you want to be a player. There it is. Fantastic camera work from QTV here.
They've been great this whole week.
So it's lastmanstands.com/join. Or if you are in an area where you realise that there isn't a Last Man Stands competition and you've got a plan to become a franchise manager or bring Last Man Stands to your area, why not see the same website but /franchise?
I think the captain heard you.
Well, he had to have stood on the table screaming.
The big Z.
Should have been on ages ago. Into the wicket here.
Starts off with the boundary.
It's really tough to come on and bowl at these sort of times where the game really is gone. Sri Lanka would have to implode massively here to give even Australia a chance. Sorry to any of our Australian viewers who think that I'm biased to one team, but at the moment they literally need 37 off 45. Just move the field and that's gone for 4 the other side now. This must be so hard for Sam Lang here.
It's a batting masterclass from Shalika. Striking at nearly 300%.
I was always told if anything over 100% was ego, so this guy must be full of it. That's unbelievable striking from Shalika.
Z's come back with a dot.
What's been your highlight of the week, Ross?
Definitely the camaraderie amongst all the teams. Everyone's played the game hard on the field, but off the field, everyone's been very friendly with each other.
High down the ground, chance of a wicket. Oh wow, just dropped short there. I thought the fielder was going to run in and take a diving catch. Didn't quite reach.
One of the standouts for me was yesterday before the South Africa-Australia game. They were both in the nets, practicing warming up, bowling at each other. Which you wouldn't see.
Oh, what a shot that is.
The reverse warthog.
Shalika with the reverse pull ramp.
But Lee, you being a bit of a legend at the Boughton Cricket Club, we can't thank you enough for having us. A fantastic facility.
It's been a pleasure. It's obviously we're very lucky here at Chester. We've got a massive team. There's just a few people I'd like to mention, if you don't mind, Ross.
Yeah, of course.
Obviously, the groundsman Alex Kegg and his team have been outstanding all week. We've had a little bit of inclement weather the last couple of days. He's been here. First man here, last man to leave. He's been absolutely outstanding. John LeGray, the fixture secretary, who's obviously blocked out all these games. We're extremely busy here at Chester with cricket. So to have them do that for us was fantastic. The club captain, Chris Fleet, who's obviously let us take over most of his garden area here, use the Wi-Fi, all those little bits. Been massively helpful. And Tommy Evans and his team in the bar, who have been absolutely chocker all week. Record profits midweek, obviously on Lucas aids and soft drinks. Maybe there was a couple of quiet beers on that off day, but it's been absolutely superb. And hopefully that we'll be able to welcome back Last Man Stands cricket, whether it be in the World Series or the World Championship in the future. As Tyrrell just, the luck is running out for Australia, I feel so sorry for them. I look around, they literally have given absolutely everything today, and it appears that it's just a hurdle too far.
Looking dejected in the field. Bodies are tired. It's been a long day. This is their third game of the day.
So obviously we've still got the player stats from this game to go into it, but this is the current LMS Dream Team for the week, and this is obviously put together by the app and the algorithm there. So if you're not in it and you think you should be, please go and see Simon or Wayne before the end. They're interested in your thoughts. So in 8th at the moment, that's my boy Dwidge, the off spinner from India. Then the feisty quick bowler Adil Hussain from England. Vineet from LMS Singapore, weren't they fantastic?
Oh.
They've been brilliant, really.
Added so much value to the tournament.
I think arguably the top all-rounder, Mo Basher, or maybe Manpreet Singh have probably gone a bit early there on
yeah,
top
I was about
all-rounder.
to say.
Sorry. Mo, you've been great though. I think you've been really good. I've enjoyed watching you. And to be fair, probably the standout performer, including Abdul Razak. He was amazing, Razak, at the start of the week, but watching Batty towards the end of the week's just been fantastic.
Lee, can I ask you, how would you pronounce the South African wicketkeeper's name there?
This is, I'd pronounce it Wynyard Venter. What's his real name?
Wynand Venter.
So that's his own fault for getting a weird name at birth, not mine. Okay, so on to Manpreet Singh, who has just been incredible. If there's any English teams out there that need an overseas player, I'd get in touch with this guy. I think he's absolutely fabulous, brilliant batsman, fabulous captain, extremely polite. We had him in the box. His English is above average. Well, it's as good as mine, so we had a solid conversation. But he really was good. And then on to some big hitting batsmen. Obviously, this is strike rate heavy. Simon Dunning, 54 off 13 in one of the games in the week, and then big Nige Collins from New Zealand. So they didn't make it out the group. So I think he'd swap that top ranking in the Dream Team to be playing in this game now.
Definitely, yeah. It's good to see the Kiwi boys all come down to support the finals day.
It has been good. It has been really good. But all those players there, there's a couple of players that haven't made that Dream Team that probably need mentioning. I think Nick Compton was pretty good as that goes down the ground there. Only 16 to win here. 6 overs left. So David Nielsen Scott, who I reckon came up with one of the biggest bloopers of the day, actually sliding past the ball, which was very enjoyable for me, who has been trolled by many of his teammates for pronunciation of his double-barreled name. He's getting stuck into our third umpire for that umpiring decision, for that third umpire stumping review. And he was also, David Nielsen was run out in the England game as well. I thought it was a great decision. Not out-like, but good decision from you, kept the game alive. And here we go, another merciless plug for the 100th time. The World Series co-branded range of bass. I'd like to thank my personal sponsor, Mesa Cricket, for allowing me to constantly endorse another company for the whole week. And but Bass and the integrated co-branded range there, guys from Bass have been fantastic. And we've seen Abdul Razak smashing it to all parts with his earlier in the week. As this game just winds down here, this is quite a routine finish at the moment. We could do with a couple of wickets or a couple of sixes. I reckon we've got one more boom in us here.
Nathan Turrell.
It's a beautiful shot, isn't it?
Delicate little touchdown to third man.
Matty Young has just put his hands out saying what we're meant to do there.
4 runs.
So Ross, you asked me what the highlight of my week was.
I did, yes.
Great question from you. I'd actually say 5 minutes into the tournament, the catch from Manpreet Singh out here, where he juggled it, went out the boundary, came back and was pretty special. I thought the 6 from Ziad Abbas earlier in the week, which went about 2 roads down here, was pretty amazing. But ultimately, I'd probably say being on commentary with Ali when Mohammed Bhatti was getting his 5 wickets.
Oh, that was.
I thought that was pretty special for me.
Really
I really did enjoy it. And that goes high in the air. Tyrrell's going to take the catch.
Great
Good
catch.
And he even went for the double play as
Presence
well.
of mind.
Great to see the Aussie lads running in. Must be tough here. There's only 8 to win, but they've all came in. Massive day for them here. They're obviously
They look exhausted.
They do look exhausted, and fair play to them. They've done really well. And the Australians have been outstanding today. I think there'll be a couple of teams who didn't make it to the final will be cursing themselves. Me as a proud Englishman, I was absolutely devastated to see the English team just cock up the chase.
Yeah,
they were absolutely in the box seat. And Pakistan as well. Obviously no Razak today, but they've been so dominant earlier in the week, and then all of a sudden, you know, lose into the UAE.
Yeah, I think the big part of their success early on in the week was Abdul Razak coming off. But they've also a great bunch of guys, good characters.
Shalik Karunanatha. No, still not got it. Have you got it, Ross?
Shalika Karunanatha.
Yeah, you're wrong as well. But that's one of his more tame innings, just 40 off 18 balls there. Nothing like his 33 off 11 this morning.
Bit of a hat-trick on the cards, yeah? No.
Yes.
Yeah, it'd be one of those shouts from the outfield now, wouldn't it? Good time for a hat-trick. I still don't think that'd be enough. Got to be, hasn't it? Final over, I reckon this one. Zia Bass.
As we've always been saying, whenever he's been involved in the game, there's always been a bit of action.
So Nathan Tyrrell here, definitely putting a fine shift today. He's worked extremely hard. He's been the pick of the Aussie bowlers, really. He's been certainly the most dangerous and batted well earlier in the day. What's a wide?
Genta Mendes just letting that go by.
So how often does this take part? Are we looking forward to this next year, or is it 2 years?
It's going to be every 2 years, Lee.
So what'll happen next year then, Ross?
Next year is the World Champs in Sydney, Australia.
Is that for clubs?
For club teams, yep. Your team's got to have qualified in your country, either in the zone or the national championship.
So when does qualification start for that?
Well, it'll all depend on which season you play in and which hemisphere you play in. So
for now, I'm going to say I'm going to play in the English season, just for ease and transport purposes.
So the English.
Can I start a team now? I'm new to this last man stands. I've played a couple of Masters games.
So the English champs are at the end of September, the 22nd, 23rd of September in London.
This year. So, no. Is your answer?
Yeah,
I'm not going to the World Champs next year.
Well, you will come. We will make sure we'll get you there in some capacity.
But you can't enter next year and still qualify for England. So just getting a little bit of info behind us here. So that'd be amazing, because I know that me and a couple of the lads here at Chester, we're going to be putting together a LMS team.
It'd be fantastic to have you involved, Dicko. You've been immense in the commentary box.
Thoroughly enjoyed it. I'd love to be able to go to Sydney to play for my country.
No, it'd be your club. Your club. It wouldn't be. It's not a country event. It's not a World Cup.
Oh, nightmare. So I've got to come up with a really good club team.
Yes.
Okay, I can do that. That's probably easier.
Great shot there, Mendes.
But we just got one to win. No, we don't. It looks like it's all over. I think it's 1 to win here. There's a little bit of confusion over the score. We think it's all over.
It's the end of the over.
So I'm going to say goodbye with 1 to win to one of my favourite sidekicks here, Ross. It's emotional to let you go here, but I know you've got bigger, more important things to do than sitting here with me for the final run. But it's been amazing, mate. Congratulations to you and all of the LMS team. I think it's been absolutely amazing.
Thanks, Dico. It's been an absolute pleasure on my behalf to sit in the commentary box with you all week.
So as the fat lady starts to sing here, Ross leaves the box. And it's all over! Sri Lanka are the World Series champions 2018. Quite amazing stuff here for the Sri Lankans. They were by far the best team. The Sri Lankans are running on and stealing the stumps as well. I'm sure they'll be collected back by Wayne Grieve by the end of the night. But honestly, fantastic. Maybe just one hurdle too far for the Australians, but the Sri Lankans were by far the best team in this event, and they've came out on top.
So, like, Sri Lanka win with 5 overs to go. How many could they have chased in that?
I think 190, 180. They've shown all week that they've just got immense power in the batting. And to be fair, Mendes just batted well within himself there. It's very nice, some of the players and family members carrying small children onto the pitch to enjoy this special moment. As the players embrace here, I'm sure there's going to be a real warm reception for the Sri Lankan team. But they were by far the best team. And I think Australia, playing 3 games in a day in such a short period of time, was probably just a little too much.
Got gentleman there's now captained a World Champs winning side and a World Series side. It's the first ever captain to do that. But how crucial is he to the Sri Lankan side?
It's quite straightforward, really. He's obviously a quality operator, and we've seen throughout this whole week that the teams with good captains have had more success. You know, Sam Lang from Australia has for me been an absolute standout leader. I don't believe for one second that this Australia side have left anything behind here. They've used every ounce of their ability and effort. And I think if maybe they'd had Marcus North here today, obviously marquee player, that maybe would have made a difference. But, you know, ultimately Sri Lanka were too strong. They were too clever. The field settings were too good. And a massive round of applause in front of the pavilion here at Chester, which looks like it's the end of a fantastic week of cricket here. So proud to be part of it. I'm sure the LMS guys will be delighted. Enjoy a few days off before they start picking the bones out of this one. But high fives all round as the Sri Lankans enjoy a famous victory. Just shows how professional the Sri Lankan team there. The masseur there making sure that the players were ready all day. And some of the guys there just embracing with some of the players from all around the world.
There's your boy, Lee.
There he is for the final time, Zia Bass. He's done a great job there. There's Gav Dean. He played a game for Scotland at the start of the week through his Scottish grandmother. But the Sri Lankans will be just absolutely chuffed with that. To win and win undefeated is special, I think. And as the time just comes up to 5 to 5 here at Chester, we're getting very close to the presentation ceremony here. Just a little summary from QTV. Massive thanks to all the guys up on the gantry, all the cameramen, all the people behind the scenes. If you want to give me a wave, I'll know that you're listening to me.
one to our left.
We've got one to our left there, little wave. But that's been absolutely amazing. Their work tirelessly throughout the week to ensure that you guys at home on Facebook, Sports Wiki and Twitter have been able to watch this live has just been amazing, and I'm sure there's going to be amazing highlights as well. Nathan Tyrrell, the only man really there, 2 for 28. Hayden Page with a wicket as well, but they just never had enough runs. They needed another 40 or 50 even to put this mighty Sri Lankan team under pressure. But it's one of those things. You look back on the week and you think of some of the amazing cricket we've seen, the sixes, some of the amazing bowling, fielding, and some of the most dramatic finishes we've seen at Chester Cricket Club for an awful long time. So obviously, selfish.
So pretty one-sided final in the end there. Sri Lanka showing their class. Excellent display by them throughout the tournament from the opening game. They're always going to be the side to beat. Australia just didn't have enough runs on the board. 141. It's never going to be enough. Well chased by Sri Lanka there. Well played to the Aussies though. Fantastic display throughout the tournament. Great spirit and camaraderie played here. And we'll be shortly switching over to the presentation ceremony in the next few minutes. So stay tuned for that. There'll be a lot of awards for the best tournament performances, along with the important Spirit of Cricket Award, the AJ Spirit of Cricket Award, and the presentation to the winners and the runners-up. Hope that you've enjoyed watching this tournament, and stick with us a bit longer for the presentation. and bring on the next World Series.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to this post-match presentation of what is the first ever World Series Last Man Stands competition. It's been an absolutely brilliant contest with teams all over the world have come to for a week's long of cricket. There's been over 25 games played, and at the end of every competition there's a winner and a loser. Unfortunately, on this occasion, I'm going to bring up the losing captain of the Australian team, Sam Lang, to congratulate him on the runners-up trophy. Well done, mate.
Cheers. Thank you.
Sam, your team's done you proud. You've brought a team over. You probably didn't start in the best fashion, but you've gone through the gears in this tournament and done really, really well.
Yeah, I think coming across as a couple of blokes from around the country, and I think there's been a few quite good rivalries back in our local nationals with a few of these boys. We realised pretty quick that it's not about us. It's about the boys back home. It's about AJ. It's about all the people that have set this up for us.
And mate, if you had gone through to win, who would your £1,000 for charity have gone to?
It would have actually gone to the AJ Trust.
Okay.
So everyone in the LMS community in Australia is behind that.
Oh, brilliant, mate. Absolutely fantastic to see you get to the final. I think it was a great game of cricket. I think all competition, all the teams have played brilliant cricket. Who would you like to sort of say thanks to your team? You guys have played really well. Who's been the star performer for you?
Look, I think Jake here, as a 17-year-old, has played well beyond his years. You can't fault anything he's done, and he's put 100% on that field every day. Marty left his quad somewhere out there as well. He did really well out in the field. And just everyone, guys had to sit out every now and then, and the guys that did put everything in behind us, and had us up in the field and everything behind the bat as well.
And in terms of the competition, I mean, it's obviously been a fantastic affair.
It has. These are the kinds of things you want to be tough. At the start of the tournament, there's a bit of a question of 3 games in a day, but you know what, stuff it. If you're here to win, you're going to make sure you do everything you can, no matter what game time it is or how many games you've got to play.
Well done, Sam. You've done Australia proud, mate. All the best. Go and get your award, hey. Well, we come to the main prize now, the winning team, and there's no doubt that Sri Lanka have been the form team of this competition. They've played the conditions right. They sort of certainly showed it in the final there, the way that they finished and knocked off a pass score. So well done to Sri Lanka. I want to bring the winning captain, Ajantha Mendez, up here. Well done, big guy. Well played, man. Jantha, you guys have been brilliant throughout the tournament. You've gone through the group stages. Your players have performed when you needed them to, and you must be absolutely delighted.
Actually, really happy because our boys playing really well. Because we have a plan when you start the game, because we have to assess the condition and everything. We guys did very well. That's why we won the game.
Oh, brilliant, mate. And who's been star performers in your team?
Actually, Andy Solomon's very all-round performance, and Karuna Atilaka and Namantha Ratnaka bowling well. Everyone is support very well, because this is a team game. We play like a very good team game.
And tell me more about the format, Last Man Stands, something that you're really going to promote and look to play more of in the future.
Actually, really good game, because everyone can enjoy, because something different. We have to score runs, and if we out, we have to concentrate the run out and everything. But good, everyone enjoy. I think our team and everyone is enjoy. This is a nice tournament at the moment.
And mate, in terms of your £1,000 to charity, who are you going to support?
Actually, we're going to the charity with the children's and a lot of guys.
Okay, brilliant, mate. Fantastic. Well done to Sri Lanka. You guys have been brilliant. Definitely the form team of this competition. I think you come and get your trophy with your team.
Australians get theirs first.
I'm just going to get the Australian skipper Sam Lang and the boys to come and get their runners-up trophy first.
Guys.
Well done. Well done, boys. Well done. Hey. done, boys. Great fight.
Ready to go?
You're doing another interview? The Sri Lanka?
No, the Sri Lanka are going to come up, yeah. Tell me when to go. Now, guys, we're gonna bring up the winning team of Sri Lanka. Jantha Mendez, the captain, one by one. Let's come up and get your trophy, that big LMS trophy.
Well done, boys.
Yes.
Thank you. Thanks, mate. Well done. Well done.
All right, let's move, boys.
Let's do one more.
Do
Man of the
the
match. Man of the match. Come on.
Boys.
Bring it. Take it. Guys, we've got one more award for man of the match, which is Shalika. He gets a power bass bat, which is kindly donated by Bass. These fantastic cricket bats. So Shalika, well done. Well done, mate. Thank you, played. And there's your award. And then
Player award Manpreet Singh from Singapore. Player of the tournament. Player of the tournament.
Player of the tournament. Guys, a couple of other awards. So just quickly, player of the tournament goes to Manpreet Singh. Well done, Manpreet. Well played, eh?
Thank you.
Well done, mate. And here's your bat as well.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Moment of the tournament. Double play, Andy Solomons.
Yeah. Come in. We got a couple of other guys. We got a couple of other awards, which is moment of the tournament, which was a special moment in the outfield as a batsman or bowler, and we're going to go for the double play of Andy Solomons. Well done, mate. Very good. Well done, eh? Excellent.
AJ Spirit Award.
Yeah.
And the winner is Nav from the UAE.
And we've got the AJ Spirit of Cricket Award, and we've got that has come to Nav from the UAE. Where is Nav? If you're listening to us, please come down and get your award. Well, we'll. Is that it? What's the next one? Next award? Next award, guys? I think his wife is here, so we're going to give her the award. She can deliver it to him.
And then, yeah, so that's the end of the live.
So guys, just to conclude here, guys, I just want 1 minute of your time just to thank everyone who's made this tournament possible, the players, the fans, the people who've come down to Chester Broughton Hall to support this brilliant competition, and all the people who've tuned in on Facebook Live to watch the games and to support their nations. It's been absolutely fantastic. I think we all look forward to the next competition. I think there's a lot of teams here who want to get one back on each other. So just to conclude, well done to LMS and everyone who's made this possible, to the curators in the outfield. You've done a great job with the pitch. I think we'd all agree on that. So until next time, thanks very much.